The next step in creating your plaster sculpture is to apply a thin layer of plaster infused gauze strips. I have all the supplies I need here. My strips are cut in various lengths. I have my sculpture. I've looked at it and I've made sure there aren't any loopy parts sticking out that wouldn't plaster well. I've also checked my connections and they're nice and strong. And I also have a container of warm water and this little stylus that's going to help me get into the tighter areas. One important thing is to keep your plaster strips nice and dry until you're ready to use them. If you drip water on them, it's going to activate them and they're going to start setting up and they will not be usable. So, to get started, I'm going to dip my plaster in my warm water and I'm going to start to wrap around his body. So I'll place it on the body and then I'm going to use my finger to smooth out those little open holes. This is an important step. It'll create a smooth surface, so when we start painting these sculptures, they'll have a nice level of craftsmanship. If you'll notice, when I applied my second strip, I overlapped my first one. This process is pretty quick, but do take the extra time to come in and smooth out those little holes like you see. That'll really make a nicer finished piece. I want to show you what you might do in a tight area like this. I'm still wrapping it around the body. I could then use this plaster strip to push it right in that little indentation. I'm also going to use my fingers one more time to smooth it out. If you overlap your strips, it's going to make a really strong piece, and also it'll just have a really nice appearance. If you have a leg or a skinny area like that, you can spiral that piece of plaster around that, trying to overlap that as well, and taking extra care to smooth it out. You don't want any of those strips sticking up. This stylus can really come in handy. I would continue on until I had the whole piece covered, making sure to dip my finger in the water and smooth out any rough areas. This sculpture will take a few days to dry, and then we'll go on to the next step of painting.